We're live.
Oh,
Welcome
we
to
are.
the Michigan Bros Grow Show. There's for Girlie popping in last minute.
Oh, so close.
Episode
He
210.
slides into home.
Welcome, chat. Glad you could be here. Get your chat set to live chat early.
What number are we? I'm always
I already
excited to
said
hear what number.
210.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Damn.
210. Yeah. I thought we were 209. I had to look it up. 210.
210. Oh.
Yep.
110.
Well, I was wanting Tara to be here so I could smoke this joint, but she's in chat, so I'll just have to.
They were here. Where'd they go?
Yeah, they were having internet.
Internet issues?
So she got us this nice gift and
Oh man, a donut.
try to smoke it. Ooh.
Nice.
We're officially a week married. We made it, guys. So
Yeah.
we're gonna make this donut in celebration for being 1 week
Your
married.
1 week anniversary. All right.
1 week, guys.
And
Our
I'm
1 week
making more
anniversary.
sauce, so I gotta. That's why I'm wearing an apron.
I wish Tara was here for the moment so we could shout out our celebration yesterday. Shout out to Yeti and Stash family.
Yeah.
That whole fam had a nice little gathering. We got to see a handful of the fam baked. You were there. We could see.
Yeah.
We got to see everybody. Actually,
I forgot it was a pool party.
them guys were up there. Yeah, dude, it was kind of fucking sweet. It was a nice little pool party.
Yeah, he's made that place so nice. Like the last time I was there, it was a greenhouse, no pool.
It was such a nice.
The siding wasn't up like it is, you know. Yeah, it's killer spot.
Yeah,
Do I just light this like a normal joint?
I think you got really evenly light, like spin it.
More
but
like a
Dan might
cigar,
know
maybe.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, just get the front end going really good.
Grab the torch, Becca.
Torch.
Jeez.
Dude, Yeti had this really cool, like, it was kind of like a soldering iron, like a little ceramic tip, and you just kind of use that to light your bowl, and it was electric. I don't know,
That's cool.
It was windproof.
yeah, windproof.
So like it was like an inch long ceramic.
And I was like,
And
where's this from? And he said, I got it 10 years ago. Oh, man.
it takes like 10 seconds where it'll actually ignite the flower, but like it cleans itself because it just gets hot.
You're not in
So
the
like
And it's
it
ceramics,
stays
so you can get a
clean.
pot of towel.
Yep, it's pretty neat.
You're like smoking a bowl. You don't got to worry about inhaling butane. That was kind of nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool.
They had a bunch of good food. They had the Angry Baker with the pretzels back.
Oh,
Nice.
he's fabulous.
Yeah, dude, he brought some fresh baked pretzels. They
Some
had,
sort of punch.
I can't remember we remember the punch. It
Yeah.
was like a rum punch, rum to dum dum.
Yep.
Nice little rum punch. I can't remember the barbecue joint, man. There's some
May or Mellow? No. Fuck.
come on, man, you got it.
I can't remember it either.
Sarah would know. I bet she's in chat. She knows. They're out of Detroit and they got grass-fed beef from the area in which
Is it like more ganja farms or something like that?
it's not more ganja. That would have been dope.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, it starts with the ebb.
And it's
Especially the M.
some
Yeah.
good barbecue pork and brisket.
It's like a traveling barbecue. So like they come to you, they find local organic beef in the area, use that, and then I think everything else they try to get local too. But
Yeah. One of their friends fam, I can't remember who it was, has a local organic farm and brought a lot of the produce to the dinner, and it was all
yeah, that was it.
food, dude. It was so delicious. It was, shout out to those guys, man. Thank you very much for hosting such a beautiful party. Yeti, thank you
Yeah.
for having a birthday.
Yep. Heated pool. That was sick. So we got in the pool and then we didn't want to get out. Too cold. We had some corn. What was that game? Cornhole tossing.
Yep.
I beat Yeti. No mercy for the birthday boy. I don't believe in that.
Shout out to those guys. I was invited. I couldn't get out there because I was dealing with my power outage issues. But so I'll straighten out now.
Oh, that's good to hear.
It was smash burgers, but yeah, the
That's
power
not the
outage.
Oh,
culture.
nice.
Oh, is that what they were just
We-
called?
Similar situation. We weren't able to make it as well. Was actually celebrating not because of a power outage, but we were celebrating one of my niece's first birthdays. So it was good to
Oh,
see some
Fun, fun.
extended family and whatnot.
Love a
Well,
kid's birthday party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So many balloons and delicious food. So what's going on with this power outage, though? Because obviously we had some crazy storms coming through. So what was your situation like, Spartan?
So let me see. Thursday night, I went after work. I came home, took a shower, and then grabbed a bite to eat, and then headed out to Bake's house, my buddy Bake's house. And when we went over there, did a few dabs, and then trimmed up all the triple burger colas. Or not all of them. There's a few left that were harvested later.
I'm supposed to be trimming that right now. Thanks for reminding me. All good.
So I did that, and then when we were getting ready to leave, I was getting ready to leave. I'm training him on the Midwestern goodbye, so we can't just like walk away and go. So we both go walk outside, and we continue talking. And we happened to look up in the sky, and it's like a strobe light. The amount of lightning that was going off in the sky, it was ridiculous. It was just one after another. And so he pulls out his phone and he starts filming it. He looks over at me. He goes, "Why aren't you filming this? You should be filming this." So I'm like, okay. So I'm out there filming it. This was crazy because I think I still have it on my phone. He says in the video, he says, "No, I said, man, this is crazy. I should probably go home." And he goes, "Yeah, in case your power goes out." And then motherfucker spoke it into existence.
Son of a bitch.
Because later that night after I got home.
What time was it that you were getting?
That was Thursday night.
Yeah, that's when I lost my power.
Oh shit.
That was the night we lost power too. Was Thursday night, and we lost power before
I
it was
thought we
even
lost ours
storming.
the day before.
And
It was like a record-breaking lightning storm.
what night were you talking about the lightning storm night, Spartan? Or are you talking?
I'm talking about
We had that twice.
Thursday. No, it was the Thursday night, and we lost the power because it was Thursday night into Friday morning when that big ass storm with the 2 tornadoes came through. We had like 75-mile-an-hour winds.
Okay, ours
No,
was,
no. Thursday night.
Absolutely, because we didn't have power at my work on
You're right,
Friday.
you're
I didn't
right,
have to
you're
go to
right.
work on Friday.
Yeah, because we had LEDs only at work.
on Wednesday night. Then it was like maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
Dude.
Wednesday night was a lightning storm. It was like just constant strobe lights.
Dude, it was like 6 hours
It
long.
could have been Wednesday.
It was 2 days before.
Wednesday,
so
it was
would've
2
been-
days. It was 2 days. Okay, so
Would've been Tuesday
there's a heat lightning storm
Wednesday
the night
morning.
before I came over to your house, and the night
As
that I
bad
came to
as
your
the
house.
one as the
It
one
It
we
was,
filmed.
yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
Had I went out. It was
That was crazy.
It was daylight. I could see the heat lightning during the day. I'm like, okay, this is kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Got a little darker, and there's still a little bit of heat lightning. I let Diogi out at like 2 a.m. to go outside, and it's
Still
really
going.
slowly starting to come in. But this was more
I was
like
gonna say 3 a.m. was by my house.
well, this was like it was faint, but it was still up there with the heat lightning. And then by 3 o'clock, it was a strobe light, and it
Yeah,
was
dude, it was ridiculous.
all of a sudden, like we have this stupid digital lamps thing that Becca app
No,
colorful
they're
light bulb
light bulbs
things.
that change colors.
And they dude, when the power goes on and off, these things just started strobing inside the fucking bedroom. So we got
It's like the
and
it's
I'm
like
like,
a poltergeist movie or some
I
shit.
couldn't get back to sleep, dude. Diogi couldn't. It was bright in our bedroom, like it was nonstop strobing of lightning, and like all of a sudden the power goes out, and these things start strobing inside the bedroom just as I'm like
and it was
starting to
like
fall back to
blue
sleep.
because I've had like blue.
Like, it's
on.
fucking lightning in the room. It's lightning in the room. What the fuck? It's
You
so
woke
much
up
lightning.
like, it's
You
inside.
guys are literally making fireworks in the bedroom.
I was so fucking
Wasn't
freaked
nice.
out, dude. And then our power went out. Yeah, that night with the lightning, and then storms came through that night. But yeah, dude, go ahead, Spartan, finish up on Thursday because that everybody has some serious.
Oh
issues.
yeah, it's a Thursday. Then the storm started rolling in, and it's like
Came
it's
from
the
a-
windiest fucking storm I've ever experienced in my life. The wind was so strong, and the rain was coming down so quick and fast. Like I was standing out, looking at the window, looking outside at my neighbor's house, and it was as if somebody was standing on this house with a fire hose and just spraying water off his house. It's like insane. I couldn't believe what was going on.
Is in our walkways in our garden of like missing mulch, and I'm like looking around like, okay, what tree did this like funnel off of? And there's like there's just like water spouts and different, and like every 5 feet in our yard there's like giant divots of where like probably gallons of water just dumped at once. Like some of the areas were like by where it could have like ricocheted off the roof, but it was like right in the middle of our pathway, just boom, boom, every 4 or 5 feet away. I'm like, dude, these are massive raindrops. Thank God I wasn't outside in that shit. And it was enough to like flood our yard, and the wind knocked over 2 of our cannabis plants that were just massive cannabis, uprooted them, like knocked them.
Jeez.
They didn't like break any branches. The wind wasn't that bad, but it was enough to like uproot them because it was so saturated. The first night we had flooding in our street, and it was garbage night. So
God.
And I mean a wedding worth of trash. So we're talking plastic cups, empty bottles of champagne. Everything's in the street, dude. Everything's all up in our front yard, everywhere, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
Seated down. The our retention ponds and our creek and all of that was backed up with flood water, so our drains weren't going down. Dude, it was a mess, man. And our shop lost power for like an hour. The night the tornadoes came through, we had a tornado warning. We had to duck and cover down in the downstairs, and it looked like some giant thing flew up and over the house. Couldn't figure out what the fuck that was. Hopefully it wasn't anybody's,
It looked like a person, but
yeah, it was kind of like, what was that movie with the creature who kept taking people away? I don't think, never mind. Whatever. It was kind of like that. The creature flew over the house. It was like a big dragon. And
we lost power right at that night during that storm. I fucking just went out to the garage, opened the garage door. Thank God the fucking storm it was as hard and fast as it was, it kind of moved on quick, So after it blew past, I just opened up the fucking garage door, got my generator going, hooked it up and got everything hooked up, and I was good to go. But it was like sleep a couple hours, wake up, fill the generator. Sleep a couple hours, wake up, fill the generator. Do that for do that a couple days, you get real tired of doing it.
Yeah.
You run your stuff at full blast, or?
No, I was only keeping the veg cycle. I didn't even, the flower would just stay in darkness the whole time.
Yeah.
I just left the doors open so that it could ventilate, and it was fine.
I see you have power right now, and you're on. Are you back on? You're good.
Yeah, it came on. The power came on at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning, or 8 or 9, something like that. Then I was able to. I was also doing the trick where I was running, unplugging the refrigerator so I could run down and plug in the sump pump to make sure that was pumping out, and then unplugging that and running back up to the refrigerator, doing that little happy dance up and down. But monitoring a few things, but we made it work. Shout out to Craftsman. They have a sweet generator, man. That generator that I had fucking purrs, and it never stopped. It ran the entire time.
How many watts?
It wasn't even a lot of watts. I can't even tell you. I'd have to go up and look. I think it's like 5,000. It's like a 5,000 watt.
The hottest day, maybe the second hottest day this year, happened to fall right in between those storms. The first one knocked our power out. So that first day, we were like,
God.
we have no power. So we probably actually still had 2 bags of ice sitting downstairs.
Melted.
Oh, they're all melted already? Yeah, well, we had 2 bags of ice. Probably could have washed some hash with that.
it was hot.
Yeah, dude, it was a hot day. And fortunately, our power came back midway through the day. So we didn't have to resort to emptying our freezer, doing any of that shit. Ice stayed frozen.
Nice.
Just long enough, dude. I mean,
And we have a gas stove now and oven, and we forgot.
Yeah, dude, totally forgot, man. So I wake up and I'm like, oh fuck, dude. I'm trying to like use the little battery bank jackery to like start the electric hot water thing. It's not enough wattage, All right, whatever. So I go outside. I set up the camp stove. I'm searching for
Oh man, dude.
fucking cans of fucking propane. You know,
Yep.
I don't want to use the grill because I have to swap propane tanks off the one grill to the other grill. It's got the side burner, so I don't want to fuck with it. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna go search for the fucking camp stove. I'm a fucking half hour in, find the tea kettle, got the fucking camp stove. I got it all hooked up. It's firing up. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, cool. And then it's fucking got to heat up. All right, now I can do we do pour over coffee anyway, so no big deal. All right, we make pour over coffee. Literally, like within, I don't know, man, within the hour, we're upstairs fucking around going, wait a minute, this fucking stove, you fucking turn on the gas, hit it with the lighter real quick.
Works.
Motherfucker, dude. I've had an electric stove for the last decade. Well,
Son of a bitch.
if you've been following the show, have had an electric stove for the last decade, on and off, broken stovetop and oven, both. So you know, we finally have a.
Well, then a week
This is real wood.
before our wedding, the top of the electric stove broke. So then we're trying to can, and we can't can anything because we don't have the stove. So we're doing it outside on the propane grill.
Yeah,
Nightmare.
we started a batch
Nightmare.
of sauce out on the. Actually, we made soup. We ended up not canning that stuff, but we made a nice batch of tomato soup out on the grill. Figure that one out.
Were you guys making chili next to canning something in the last like 4 or 5 days I saw on your story, or was that the soup?
Tomato sauce. Becca made up a big batch of. She's making another one right now, actually. A whole canning pot worth. Of,
Yeah.
Spaghetti sauce.
Yeah,
pretty
just
much.
spaghetti sauce. But
Okay.
basil, thyme, rosemary.
Thyme, rosemary, oregano, garlic, onion, tomato, zucchini.
All from the garden. Maybe except most of the onion, like some onion out of it, and even a couple cannabis leaves chopped up and tossed.
Nice.
Actually, the last batch we took like a spring of what week are we in? I don't know, like week 2, week 3. Like we took some bottoms, you know, so we took those bottoms and chopped them up. Perfect timing with the tomato harvest, and included those into our spaghetti sauce.
Nice.
Yeah, we got some CBG, you know, of phytocannabinoids, whatever types of proteins are going to go
Depends
into
on the
it.
temperature that kicks or that.
Yeah,
off,
whatever's going to cook off. But I mean, I think we got something. We got good minerals. We got active, same deal.
I was gonna say you're probably just converting the CBGA to CBG or whatever, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But I love the fucking gas, man. I did that when I bought this house. That's one of the first things I did was I run a gas line for the stove, one for the dryer, and I have a gas water heater. So when the power went out, I didn't need power to run my water heater. I could take a shower. I just had to do it by candlelight, which was pretty romantic. But you know, I have city water, so the water pressure is not something I don't need to run a pump or anything to do that. So I've got city water, and my water heater is you know, gas water heater, so I can take a hot shower, and I can even cook meals like what Red and Beck is saying with your gas stove. You can use that too.
Fortunately, we do have a gas line. You know, our house is old enough to have a gas line, so we have a gas hot water heater, and really that's all we use. Gas. Oh, our furnace. We have gas furnace, gas hot water heater, and our stove top. We have no gas lines ran anywhere else. You know what I mean? So shout out to Daddy Red. He hollered at my old roommate, got him over to the house and installed a gas line for us. And Daddy Red actually gave us their hand-me-down stovetop, their range. You know, it's a really nice range. They had gotten a new range, and their range wasn't that old. You know, and right now we're able to process more cans of sauce, man. It's sweet because I do not recommend preserving on a gas range. You can get it done
Electric.
on an electric range. I'm sorry. You can get it done, but you're really likely to burn that fucker out. Dude, I've gone through multiple ranges now, just trying, because we use it too much. And I burned out an oven on the last range because I made RSO and I was trying to purge it off in the oven and ran the oven for a few hours, and that fucker didn't like that. I mean, how are you going to cook a turkey? You know what I mean? You need to cook a turkey for a few hours. You got to run your oven and your stovetop if you want to get some cooking.
You gotta go on for
properly
like
done.
days.
Yeah, I mean, for really, you cook some damn good meat. You know, I know it's not on a stovetop, but like you'd cook that fucker for some hours, wouldn't you? Have a broiler going for a good 6
Oh,
hours if
dude,
you-
I actually cooked I had just had a leftover steak today and a couple pieces of bacon, so I wrapped that thing up at like noon, wrapped it up in bacon and just threw it on the smoker at 185 and just waited, and it was like close to 3 hours before it was at like 140, and then I took it off, kicked it up to 500, and just did the best I could to kind of finish it off or whatever with the kind of not crisp the bacon but crisp it up a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I mean, cooking steaks 2 hours probably, something like that. That's pellets though, so imagine just every night or whatever cooking for 2 hours on your stove or whatever. Fortunately, it's a Traeger, so it's kind of a set it and forget it. You can just literally look at the app and change it, turn it off, do all that kind of fun stuff. But you guys had me thinking, because we have both electric and gas lines running to like our dryer and our range, and I guess it's gas to our water heater, but it's right there by the power, so I guess theoretically it would take 8 feet of wire or something like that. But and I think what happened is, well, we're on propane. That's our source of gas, and year to year, especially last year, it gets very, very expensive to purchase propane. And so I'm thinking that whoever owned this house previous to us might have ran some new lines, some electric lines, to maybe reduce the cost of running all that stuff with gas. But I do prefer cooking on a gas stove. I don't have one currently, but it's nice, man. It's just instant on and off heat, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's really the only one. I just because we have to run it for a really long period of time, and it's just you really have to have a reliable electric source to not burn out your what are they electric
Coils or whatever.
Elements.
elements.
There you go. Well, what about a convection? Because that's different, right?
Well, ours almost started a fire. We had
Okay.
a couple wires in the back of ours burned out. I mean, it was probably an easy fix. I'm sure that it was just a thermocouple or something stupid on the inside of the oven. But if I'm going to run it for a few hours and it's just going to burn out again on me, I really don't want that. I just tossed it in the street. I knew somebody would come by and take it, and they did. So hopefully somebody else gets better use out of that thing. At least I get scrap money for it. It just sucks, man. It's some stuff that they make nowadays, some stuff is still quality. Some stuff they make is just not quality appliances. They show it in their wear and tear, that's for sure, because they don't last even a decade anymore. I mean, usually it'd be like, if I get a decade out of it, cool. You know what I mean? But
Speaking of wear and tear and stuff lasting long, do you guys have recommendations on a solid set of screwdrivers? Because I'm so frustrated with the ones I've worn in and ground down.
Screwdriver. I tend to use a screw gun. I don't tend to really grow for the screwdriver very often.
You're looking for like
I agree, but there are a lot of situations in which
like
I do need a
Snap
screwdriver.
On or Mac or something.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, I wouldn't
but
get that
usually-
level for home.
so
Wow.
Snap. Just grab a Craftsman. You get Craftsman stuff. We used to be able to get
Craftsman used to be really cool, but then
Yeah, they used to be able to like a lifetime warranty on the tools
yeah, I
and
used
stuff
to
like
work at
that.
Sears, and
That's
it was
my. I mean, my dad would
That's
basically shove that philosophy down my throat with Craftsman, but I mean, I was looking at Milwaukee just because I have a couple
Milwaukee's
Milwaukee
really
tools.
good shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
It's like top dollar consumer before you get to like Matco and Snap On, in my opinion.
My
that's
thing
honestly that's what I'm looking for. I want to invest a little bit of money,
Yeah.
like $50, into a screwdriver set that isn't going to strip on me.
Well,
You know,
What?
Yeah, that'd be
Buddy
that'd be
Stabby, shout
that.
out to Stabby. Haven't seen him in a
Like a
while, but he
stripping
says
out screwdriver.
Nip
screwdriver set.
I've seen
With
that
an
before. Nip.
Ipex.
I think I've seen that. I think is that the one with the green handle?
I've never
don't know,
no,
I'll have to
that
look it
would be Masterwork from Menards. Those are shit.
yeah, that's like the
I think I've got some
house brand of Menards.
tools.
Yeah, I avoid Masterwork stuff. back
Nipex
there.
is a red diamond with white lettering. That's their logo. That's all I got.
Huh.
Looks like some sweet cases.
Yeah, I don't know. What did I buy? I bought like a new ratchet or socket set. I think it's Stanley. But I didn't want to go to the level of Milwaukee because
We had a full We had a full
There's a difference.
mechanics toolbox set. I don't even want to say what it costs. Daddy Red forked over the cash for it. It was part of my school when I went through the trade school and got licensed up for aviation technician. And we kept all of our toolboxes, all these big roller boxes. You know what I mean? They had a Snap-on representative come through, and everybody ordered the same kit. You know, they had a list of the stuff you could get, or you could just get the package through the school, and you'd like save $50 or $100 or whatever. It'd be easy because the Snap-on rep would bring everything in. You break a tool, the rep's in there every fucking 2 weeks. You get it fixed, no big deal. Well, dude, within, I don't know, dude, it was like the first 2 weeks of fucking school, everybody kept their toolboxes in shelves with like a chain link fence locker type situation. You know, every third, row of fucking things. Mine got fucking stolen, dude. That motherfucker got stolen. Fortunately, I think Daddy Red got an insurance claim on it and was able to actually, the school like reimbursed him for it. And we had to go. We went to Sears and got the entire thing Craftsman because they would also do the same deal. But dude, I had a nice fucking Snap-on tool set. A really fucking
that sucks.
and it all got fucking stolen
From school?
Yeah, it was a school kit. It was really fucking nice, but I got a lot of that made up in Craftsman. And over the years, because working in trades and stuff and just being mechanically inclined, just not even just people, gift tools. Tools are great gifts. We fucking, especially if you got nephews and nieces, and
even younger brothers. Like
brothers.
I
it's
gave
amazing.
my older
Why
brother
not,
tools
why not
when he bought a
sisters?
house.
Why are you guys not saying sisters?
Because I don't have any sisters.
Yeah, I don't have any
Well, that's
sisters.
And
terrible.
if I did, I wouldn't give them any tools. I'd be buying myself all the tools.
Give us some
I got a question for maybe Dankman Dan, and for Girl, he may have heard it the most, but I thought this was interesting as hell. In the show I did just before this, Brandon Russ was talking about a technique where they take bubble hash and they put it in, I'm assuming, a jar, sealed, and they put it on heat for like 190 degrees and just let it chill until it crashes out, and then it makes almost like an RSO.
This is the terp pods you're talking
We
about that
put
everyone's
them in
smoking.
vape carts typically.
Yeah, they're decarbing it to put it in a vape pod.
Make it more viscous. Is that it, or less viscous?
Well, they were using
more
it just
of
as
it.
like an RSO. He was telling me he's using it just like an RSO oil, like a
Same thing. You can put it in a syringe.
Yeah.
It's decarbed at that point, so you could literally just drink
Yeah.
it.
So typically what we have to
Would
do.
there be a way for people who can't get a hold of alcohol to be able to make like an RSO? I think that's fucking awesome. Just medicinally, where you can just put it on a hot plate for at one.
Yes, but is the difference with the RSO, that's more of a whole plant thing, right?
Yeah, so I guess
Because-
you're losing a little bit in the bubble hash in the water. I suppose you
Well,
could lose a little
What
bit.
I would say is you're probably extracting a lot more with alcohol doing that soak than you are just
Right, but I'm saying
washing out bubble hash and then
I'm
converting
saying
it into
alcohol is
liquid.
not an option for you. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Right,
saying
right.
that somebody
No,
who's
no,
sick,
it's
alcohol's
great.
not- yeah,
It's a great option to have a liquid
yeah,
extract. You know what I mean?
yeah, because you can use water to do the bubble hash, and then you can just use heat, literally just heat.
So
and get a similar.
You're
with
just
the
decarbing it.
rosin, is you're trying to keep it from recrystallizing after it cools down. So you have to keep it maintain that 148 degrees for about 12 to 48 hours till you see all the bubbles dissipate in your liquid. Once you see it quit bubbling, now it's stable enough to cool back down and it's not going to recrystallize.
I see. So it's really just changing the state, but
Yeah.
and it's decarbing at the same time, though. The whole process.
You lose little terps and stuff too.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much terps.
But would you lose it if it's in a sealed container?
Yes, because it's not gonna fall back into the solution.
It won't fall back.
Once
Okay.
it's lost, it's lost. We've made some carts before, and the terps were still decent. I would.
That's not convincing, Dan.
No, they were good. I mean,
that was an
I'll read
alternative
between the
we're trying to
lines.
sell.
I'll read
I'm
between the
sorry.
lines on that
That
one.
was not convincing, but they were good. Surprising as long as it took to actually make it stable enough to get it in the carts.
I've
I think-
definitely had some
I had to do
good
it in my
rosin ones.
oven.
Like Yeti makes good ones.
Yeah.
There's different
others.
the different things. Like you can do it quicker under higher temperature, but maybe you're more likely to lose more terps.
Yeah.
For example, when I'm crashing out my sauce, right, I'm doing it at about 80 degrees, and sometimes it takes 24 hours, sometimes it takes a week. But if I'm making something as stable as like a terp cart, I'm probably taking like 4 to 6 weeks to do that.
Right on.
Now, if I did that at a higher temperature, yeah, it'd probably go quicker, but again, like
terps.
we're losing terps or decarbing, like all that kind of stuff. And that's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to crash out the THCA to be left with a higher terpene to THCA ratio. Now, I still want some in there, obviously, but if that eventually crashes out into a solid in the pen, that's where it causes a problem. So I need a viscous enough profile on it to work. Now, if you guys, maybe after hash time, I'll grab the one I'm working on right now, the next batch, and you'll see this is the second crash on it, and you'll already see a layer of very small diamond. Well, small as of like yesterday. We'll see today, how thick that layer will get. But I have to essentially do a second crash and then maybe even a third, and that's what takes that 4 to 6 weeks or so to make it stable enough.
Is it crashing out essentially the THC
Recrystallizing.
returning to its original form? Because for
I
my
wouldn't say original, but it crystallizes. It almost falls out of the solution and collects at the bottom. The terps go to the top. At the bottom,
from
It's
my
like-
understanding with
It's like a
THC,
sugar crystal falling out. If you know what I'm saying, like how sugar crystals build.
well, maybe
like honey or maple syrup.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt.
Absolutely.
but maybe a terminology aside, from my understanding with THC being a lipid, it being a fat, once it's like in liquid form, once it's like in that liquid form, it's desired to like become its original form again. So it's like it wants to turn back into a crystal. You know what I mean? Like it. So I don't know if there's a way to avoid it over. I think that at any point, like I don't know what the amount of time is, but at a given point of time, it's going to. And I don't know if the term is crash out, but like it's going to return to its original. This is from my understanding from listening to I don't know much about chemistry, but I was listening to quite a few things about it when I was writing some documents. And they were talking about a couple of different things I was listening to talk about how it's going to always return to its original state in being a crystal structure, or at least its isolate state.
Yeah, and we're just trying to slow down that process, I guess.
Right. Yeah. But I don't know if it can be indefinitely slowed.
I was gonna ask what crashing out means. I don't know what that
When the liquid in your cart recrystallizes and no longer becomes vapable. You follow what I'm saying?
It's when the diamonds form. I should probably just go grab it right now to give you guys an example while we're on the topic. Stay here. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, if you've got an old crusty cart laying around, that thing's probably got some.
So that's the
Sugar
the
in it.
THC separating and
Yes,
crashing out.
yeah. From my understanding, it's returning to.
Separating and then like concentrating.
But it's a crystal.
Well, it's
Heat,
I don't know. I mean,
heat, which is energy.
After it or when it isn't a crystal, it's a lipid, and then it crystallizes.
I don't know.
I don't know the formula for it, but yeah, it makes your carts unusable when it can no longer drain
Maybe
it.
it has anything to do with the fact that
Combustion chamber.
anything like that. It being a lipid means that it has a specific polarity, and that you have to use specific polar solvents in order to extract it. But I don't know if it being a lipid has any other purpose, but I don't know.
I'm just wondering.
I really
Yeah, I've messed with it just a little bit, Spartan. Not much. Definitely need to get back into it and pursue the cart game because they're pretty popular, man. People like them.
Yeah.
Carts.
Yeah, that's for
Convenience.
sure. Yeah, that's super popular. Not with me.
The rosin carts I had weren't bad. No,
Yeah.
bad. But like I said, I don't have access to them, so unless I make them myself.
Well, here's a couple good ones in chat. So Stabby says precipitation might be a more appropriate scientific term. So precipitation sounds, if you think about things maybe precipitating. But then Rusty is saying he assumes crashes. He can mix it all back up after it crashes out. So that's a good question too. I mean, can you like re-emulsify, or can you re-emulsify this or like homogenize it to mix it back up?
That's when you probably need heat.
Yeah, it would take heat to do that again, probably, because in the rosin, I can't speak for BHO, but in the rosin, we're taking it from pressed out, cured form, which is, more of a solid state, heating it back up to a liquid state now, maintaining that heat so it retains that liquid and doesn't want to recrystallize as fast, so to speak. Yeah.
And the way Brandon was describing it with his method was he'd just do a bubble hash, take that bubble hash, put that under the heat in a sealed container until it, just like what Dan was saying, would turn into like a liquid form. And then he did it for long enough. He says it just stays a liquid form. And then you can take and use and dose it like RSO.
That's amazing.
Baked, if you're, well, no, you're trimming or something over there, aren't you? By the way, I love your shirt. I was gonna say maybe pull up my Instagram, but I think I can share it real quickly. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can pull it up quicker than I could. The latest 2 videos on my Instagram are pour offs, and my concentrate is essentially starting as a liquid. You know what I mean? Of course, the material in the column is a solid. It's fresh frozen, but when I pour it off, which is what this is, it's a liquid form. Now I could.
How hot is that?
About 2 degrees, probably.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say it's gotta be really cold, probably.
Yeah, it's actually super, super cold. So
that's crazy.
Because butane or butane, I think it's butane boils at 15 degrees or something like that. Propane's less than that. Or I might be getting that. Maybe it's like 30 degrees and 15 degrees or something. So yeah, in that range, it's below freezing, put it that way. But anyways, it's a below freezing liquid that I then degas further to reduce its viscosity, if you will. Now I can do that in the closed loop system before I pour it off. It just makes it a little bit more challenging. You might have more left behind. That being said, yeah, there you go. That being said, from there, it goes in this jar. You can probably pull up my screen now if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can't get a decent.
Whoops.
Hey there, Baked.
Yep.
I need a.
I hate how you can't just pick somebody and make them bigger.
There we go.
There you go.
So this here, and you're not going to see much, but this is the start of crash number 1, and what I like to call, and I can't really expand on this further, but a native crash. And there's a very small amount of diamonds crashing out in there. I can't really give you a better view, but on the side you'll see.
It's beautiful.
On the side you'll see diamonds forming there. See all that?
Yeah.
At the bottom and even the top edges. So that's the start of diamonds forming in run number 1. This is just the terps. After crash number 1, THC has been removed. See if I can't get a little closer with this. Come on, focus for me.
I mean, the diamonds were removed?
Diamonds have been removed from this run, so this is just essentially the terps. It's not going to focus for me that well. But this is the one I was telling you about where it's like just the thinnest little layer of diamonds. I can't even show you. It's so thin.
You can see it though. We can see that, like the
from
peaks.
Here, probably. Yeah, the different kind of coloration down here. It's a little bit lighter, right? That's forming just the thinnest little layer of THCA. Now, I will have to pour that off again, maybe screen it off or whatever, make sure there's no solids in there when I go to fill up the carts. But yeah, it can be a lengthy process. It's just kind of refining it as best I can, I guess. All right, get this.
So are the
Yep.
parts in that case terpene only, or is there still cannabinoid?
No, it's to be honest, like I'm starting with, maybe let's call it, I don't know what, 75% THC. I don't know, something in the range. I've seen like 90, as high as 92 and as low as probably like, I don't know, in the 50s for sure in my like these extracts. So if we're considering it 75% THCA to start, I'm pulling out maybe half that, you know what I mean? So now we're talking like it's probably like 50% or less THCA. I don't have a certain like goal or anything I'm shooting for. I just kind of like know that at a certain temperature, if it's crystallizing still, I need to let it further that process. One of the challenges with these carts is they're a little finicky. And so I've tried a variety of different, V-Fire 510s. I'd like to try like the disposables, and just, trying to see what works best. I haven't had anything necessarily not work, to be quite frank with you, but the challenge I do see is when it gets left in black or a hot car in the middle of the summer in Michigan, and it's sunny, and that thing will just like it'll either batter up or start crystallizing a lot quicker than you thought it would. You know what I mean? So without me taking it to 120, 140 degrees, I can't, guarantee that it's not going to do that at that temperature, because the idea is to save the terps, and so I'm just avoiding taking it over that temperature. That's why it's like, all my jars now say keep cool in an upright place or whatever. Like
that says everything about your quality, man. I mean, how many people wouldn't hesitate just to cook their shit off, get it in the carts, but that says everything about your quality and how much you want to preserve it and what them terps mean to you. So
well, and I'm doing it all from fresh frozen. If I was doing like cured runs or something like that, it probably wouldn't mean as much, I guess, maybe, you know what I mean? Because the process, like a lot of that process is already done with. But yeah, with fresh frozen, like the whole idea is to maintain the essence of the plant as it essentially was living in your grow room. You know what I mean? Like we all know how freaking great those smell and look, and just like that's what I want to be able to put in a jar or a cart or a joint or whatever it is, someone's bowl, whatever the next thing is. I guess even my topicals, like they don't really have the same terps, but trying to like bring that medical value into it at least. So yeah, I don't know. Fresh frozen is just a different thing, I think, and it's hard for me to go over my recovery temperature, which is 90 degrees. Like, why would I want to go further higher than that? And even at 90 degrees, you're seeing that pour off. It's still, it's not, the extract isn't 90 degrees, that's just the vessel it's in. So, yeah.
So the car, you said that like X amount of percent is removed and then another about half of that. So it's in the range of like good hash, a cart, like what, like 30-40%, maybe twice of what flour might be, maybe in the range of flour, something like that, which sounds like a solid, maybe double flour.
Let me see if I can pull up my test results. It's been a while, but hold on.
The test result, but I'm wondering, just like off that like brief math, if that's, like sounds like a good range. Like that's like I don't.
I'd be surprised if it was 30%. I think it's probably closer to 50%.
50.
Yeah, it even might be like
hash,
low
like
50s.
Good hash. That's because distillate is like 80-90%, and it's just like stupid.
Oh yeah, ideally like 99. Whatever. Lab grade, right?
That sounds like you have a little Wookiee in your background there, Red.
We do, yeah. They're running around.
Nobody wants.
Say that, and then he quiets.
I was gonna say, I think I just I didn't find the specific one yet, but I know I did one back in like 2000. I don't even know, maybe 18 or something like that, and it was like I called it the high terpene full spectrum extract, HTFSE, because it was like high cannabinoid was what they called the the diamonds, right? And then like the terps or whatever was the high terpene.
But if you left it on the plate and it started to separate and it crashed out the THC diamonds, and you left it on there and you kept it on the heat, eventually, could you ever get it to the point to where they would dissolve into that and you'd have just a liquid? Or you just have to keep getting hotter and hotter to make that happen? You couldn't do it at that lower temperature over a longer period of time.
Definitely not at that lower temperature. They're not just, I think it's going to take a certain amount of heat to like melt the diamond back in.
I see.
And now here's the thing. Terpenes are a solvent, right? So maybe at a lower temperature with a higher terpene content, you're going to melt those quicker because you're dissolving them. You know what I mean? Like you would in alcohol. So I can see how that would work. Let's see. I guess I could just go ahead and share this. See, this looks like now that it's at the lab. Hold on. Sorry. I was just thinking now that this is at the lab. This is from March 16th, 2018. I guess I got to present it for you. Share my screen. And let's resize it so it doesn't get crazy on you guys. There we go. So let's look at those pictures on the side here. You can see it all. It's like not even like as liquidy as this one is, right? It's almost like more batter consistency at this point. Who knows the temperatures that went through at the lab or whatever, or on the way to the lab or what have you. Right. But looking over here, total solvents 161 ppm. So that's under that OG goal of 200 ppm total residuals. Total terpenes on this is 13.37. So I would expect that to be a little bit higher nowadays too. But again, with this batter-like consistency, that's not surprising to me. High CBGA, which is cool. THCA, there you go, 57%. So again, I think it's going to be 50, maybe high 40s, maybe high 50s even in some when it comes to the cart. But even with close to 60%, you're probably going to get that batter going at, not room temperature, but for sure car temperature.
So that's such a better cart range ratio than the average on the market is like 70-some% THC, very little terpene.
Can you guys guess the strain just based on the
see a bunch of terpenoline?
Yeah, baby.
Lime skunk.
Almost 6% terpenoline.
I don't see too much pinene. It lowers the lime.
Clementine?
Yeah, I think it's clementine. Yeah, it just says HFSE, but I'm 90% certain this is clementine.
Nice.
Solvents just for schnitz and giggles. So butane at just, 82 ppm. Acetone, which is that natural digestive byproduct of the organic digestive system of humans, plants, and mammals, etc. We create acetone, and so that gets concentrated in the concentrate form. And then ethanol, which was from cleaning my dab tool. That's 17 ppms of that. Yeah, pretty much nothing detected of anything else. Oh, they're doing quite a few back then, I guess.
Amazing.
That was 5.5 years ago, that test.
Hey.
2017 was the first time I made a diamond sauce or whatever, and it was with lime skunk. And I literally just poured a concentrate into a Pyrex dish, put the oven real low, like basically room temperature low, closed the door, and just didn't look at it for like you were growing seedlings, Didn't try to give it that death stare for like weeks. And it was weeks. But then like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks later or something, I finally opened it up and I pulled it out and I'm like, oh my God. There was like 3 just beautiful, like put them in a ring diamonds at the bottom of this Pyrex dish. And I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it because they were just so perfect, and I took a bunch of pictures and then slammed that thing back in there. A couple weeks later, it was like a dish full of them. That was the first time I ever made sauce, I guess. delicious lime skunk. Can't wait to make more.
I can't wait for you to make more either.
Like a lot of people are saying that.
You're not lying.
In it right now. Yep.
Lime skunk. Skunk.
Yeah. Last time I saw him, I picked up 3-gram jar of that.
But listen, like the more I put it into flour so much that last year, 2 years ago, whatever it's been now, almost 2 years, I guess, I put it into flour so much that sometimes I don't even clone it, and I just put it into flour, all my veg plants, and then I have to re-veg the dang thing. Well, and then that sets me back for like 9 months, you know. And then everyone's like, "What happened?" And then I bring it back, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's the new, give it to me." And so it's a balance of like having clones and getting them into flour and having mothers and just doing this perpetual thing.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is. But I've got 3 good, very good size, like drinking over 2 gallons of water a day, basically. They're all 3 of them in 10 gallons, just under their own light right now, ready to go into flour, need to go into flour. But I just took another round of clones off them the other day because they are the healthiest, biggest ones I have. And while I do have some other smaller ones, they need to get bigger so I can, properly flour them out. So I just decided to basically put it off for another week or 2 of putting lime skunk into flour or having any lime skunk in flour so that I could guarantee that we would have more in the future. So I apologize now, but you'll thank me later. Caregiver struggles.
Well, it's all good. It's better when you don't have it all the time.
Yeah, there's too much of a good thing or whatever, right? Everything in moderation. Fakes like I don't agree at all.
But I feel like if I smoke something all the time, I get tired of it and I'm ready like for the next thing. So I'd rather just have it like for a month and then not have it for, on and off.
I'm ready to get this freezer rolling so we can give you a whole freaking room full of citrique.
Oh, yes, please.
There you go.
Because I can't get enough of lime skunk and I need something similar. So
yeah, it's very similar. It's lime skunk crossed with what?
Orange Valley OG.
And what can you tell me about Orange Valley OG?
I know
I've known Orange Cookies OG, but I can't imagine that's very similar.
And I know that Orange Cream was a nice kind of slightly orange, but it was really nice. It was nice and awakening. It kind of like not like tangy, but kind of like a jelly bean. Kind of reminded me of jelly bean in a way, but a little more creamy than jelly bean. A little fuel.
Sounds like it comes from Agent Orange and SFV OG.
Oh,
sounds about right. Jelly bean was, I think, Agent Orange or something like that. Also,
yeah, and I love SFVOG is my favorite OG. I don't know, Larry OG is pretty high up there too.
There's so many OGs.
But Citrique is more lime skunky, I'm guessing, because it's far more lemon. I mean, it really reminds me of your lime skunk. It dabs.
It just doesn't have the skunk part of it.
It's more of a pine, more of a lime pine.
Dude, it's like whatever they bred that specific, or maybe it's just I guess the traits being passed down. But to me, it's when I popped this pack of lime skunk. And what I've been propagating for 7 years, we had, I think, 3 of them, narrowed it down to 2 pretty quickly. One of them is like that limey, skunky one that we have still today. And one of them was just like a lime gusher or something. You know what I mean? Just like lime candy, just probably more like a jelly bean lime. If it was a jelly bean orange equivalent to jelly bean lime, something more like that. But it was super frost packed and just like it looked like a cookie strain or something, but it just didn't produce, and it was missing that skunk factor. And it's almost like that Citrique was bred with like that version of the lime skunk or something, because it is so pronounced in that like that jelly bean, like that sweet. I mean, it's
The one thing the Citric is missing though is the frost factor and the density. It's much more like a haze.
That's how my lime skunk is, though.
And
Clementine.
Yeah, it's like very chunky. It's big diesel buds and orange hairs and
I was gonna say it's got kind of thicker hairs on it too, right?
greasy, pronounced orange hairs.
Probably doesn't wash well.
That burnt rust colored hair washes terrible. No, there's no bulbous trichomes on these things.
I
They're
think
all
Astro Charlie.
stitholithic hairs.
You're
Dan,
muted, Dan.
muted.
So it carries white pistols to like day 77.
Yeah, pretty much.
Take that
German
shit.
poison, dude.
They're all swollen white and shit. You're like, damn.
They're
We're
chunky,
coming down anyway, man.
Yeah, I ain't got
Yep.
time for this.
Shit.
leafy, meaty, leafy. They will mold on you. They will. They will. I've got powdery mildew.
Do aphids like them outdoors?
I don't think aphids are that picky. I think they'll eat just about anything with green.
I kind of like everything.
They only like my lime skunk outdoors, but I just spray them
I'll
off.
tell you
windows
what.
and that's it.
I'm so fucking thrilled. I've been watching the aphids fuck with my brassicas, and then they jumped on my corn, and the fucking ladybugs found them. And the ladybugs are like pigging out and breeding, and I am loving it. And like, yes.
You got a
Do
little
your
like
thing,
orange
nature.
caviar eggs everywhere. I almost called them seeds. Eggs everywhere.
Yep. I'm just gonna populate the whole garden with these. The
Well,
ladybugs came to save the day.
Dude, you're gonna have little alligator larvae running around. They're sucking
Those are the best.
They're
Those
so
are the best.
I
They
bought
eat like
some
crazy.
green lacewing larvae for some aphids.
Those
out
too.
greenhouse. Yeah, I bought 2,000 of them. Set them bitches free, and they're having fun.
So the craziest
aphids
thing-
are bad, man.
The
There's-
craziest thing happened to me this summer, and I've only seen it happen this summer. And right after that big storm, we didn't have any fucking power, right? So the next day, me and my boy, we were just sitting out on the porch on the back porch most of the day, just chilling out there, smoking and talking or whatever. And once dusk came, it was just like you could still see pretty good, but you can tell it was getting darker. Like a gigantic swarm of these big ass dragonflies flew in, and we just watched them in the yard just zipping around, just picking off all the little mosquitoes or whatever else was flying in the air, just fucking going to town for like half hour. Then they just pissed off. I'm like, where the fuck you guys going, man? You need to chill here.
What were they?
We'll be back. tomorrow.
They're dragonflies. They're big ass
Dragonflies.
dragonflies. They're,
Dude,
they're size of like
they
a
usually
small
live
bird.
near water, so they're gonna.
So we literally smoking a bong earlier, saw the same thing right off our porch, and they show up every day, man. I know there's like little tiny ones, right, that are like basically a toothpick with wings, and then there's the
That's
other
what these
ones
are.
that are like pencils with like a full bumblebee on the end of them and like bird wings, like hummingbird wings. And dude, yeah, they zip around. But so I've been watching them, and it's like you can't really tell what they're eating most of the times. They're so fast. They just twirl around. They like fight each other, or mate, or whatever they're doing, having fun. I'm sure. And but I saw one right in front of me, like 10 feet in front of me today. A full size one grab the toothpick size one and just nom it down, dude. It's like, oh, okay, I guess they're eating the small ones. All right.
I think there's a fly out there that looks like them. I think that might be the small ones, and they'll eat them.
Oh no, they're
So
dragonflies, because I saw right in front of me, or right below where this happened, was a spider web with that same toothpick dragonfly stuck in the spider web. I knew there
Rusty
was.
Nails says that there are dragonflies and damselflies. the small ones.
Damselflies. That's what
Oh,
I'm talking
okay,
about.
there you go.
The damsel in distress.
It's not like a
they're
typical
very much
house fly,
damsels in
but
distress.
they look like it.
Yeah, I just call them mini dragonflies. I don't know.
I don't know. Those dragonflies that I saw were definitely some big ones, because I thought it was a bird at first when I saw it
Big
darting
ones.
around.
Yeah.
I was
They
like,
look
what
like
the
they move
fuck
like
is that?
bats.
Yeah. That I hate. That's another thing. I was keeping an eye out for bats, because if I see the bats come on, I'm going in, because they swoop down close to your head and shit. I'm like, no, I'm not playing. Your game.
They're going
your
for
beard, bro.
mosquitoes and stuff.
Well, I'm not killing them. If they come in my house, then that's my deal with nature. I'm like, you're cool
Right.
outside, but You only come inside if you're
Stops at
invited.
my door.
Right.
Yeah.
coming out. Bats love our yard. We're still out there right at dusk. They're out every night.
And that's
Hopefully
probably
drop
when the
some guano
dragonflies
for
go
you.
in.
Yeah, dragonflies go in, bats come out. We don't have too much mosquito issues. Too many mosquito issues. It's not that bad.
Yeah, you got good bat population.
Right now, after all the rain, it's probably pretty shitty. But yeah, we got a
Yeah,
lot.
just this next week's gonna be terrible with mosquitoes. Stay inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't want to know. It's got
That was a good point. I kind of noticed it was already bad, but it's gonna get way worse.
Hey guys,
Yeah, way.
I want to show you our first chicken eggs.
Yes.
Oh, hey, there you go.
See 'em?
Congratulations.
I don't want
Nice.
to.
Welcome to the club, dude.
Look how
Now,
proud the dad is.
I'm going to show you guys a real special one now. It's going to blow your mind. This one is very special.
it's got a face.
Look at this.
Holy
Holy
smokes!
cow.
Oh, this little tiny,
Look it.
tiny egg.
Did
Right.
you break it?
No, I didn't break it. It is
It's
so
actually a marble.
Wow.
No, it's
That's
an
wild.
egg.
Looks like a
That's
That's
potato.
wild, dude.
Trish dates them and stuff, so I can't get it in there. But
Yeah, we get it.
That's
Yeah.
Sweet, dude.
I think
Congratulations.
we got one girl laying right now out of the 6. So she was so proud. Trish said,
Get ready. They don't stop.
"Yeah. So we're excited."
Until they think they're gonna lay an egg, until they think they're gonna hatch a baby, and then they stop and just become little brats.
That's what Trish said. They're pretty aggressive with
Yeah.
their speech.
Pretty little pain in the butts. We got 2 broody hens right now. So
wow.
Rudy.
the last broody hen, we broke her by kicking her out of the coop so we
Yeah.
found an alternate method of breaking the brood. You just got to kick her out every day.
That's what I said, dude. You just throw her out.
Close the door.
We had
You're
2
not allowed.
roosters. We got rid of one of the roosters. One of my friends took him to do some breeding at home. So we have 1 rooster left. He's not too aggressive right yet, but he's still maturing. He'll sidestep you and shit, you know.
Oh, you better give him the boot, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
He's sizing you up.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw one of my hens today.
Sorry, Trish. Oh, I mean, it could be,
What?
you don't have to eat it, but if he's gonna become a problem,
No, he's not too bad just yet.
Oh.
We can still scoop him
What
up.
in the
But
fuck?
You guys want a couple free roosters, Red and Becca, if you're that hungry?
you can't have roosters.
You
No,
can't have
no,
those
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Are you hungry though?
Well, I mean,
How homestead do you want to get?
Hash time. We missed hash time.
we got to do it at our other place.
Can you
Trish says she's ready for goats.
There you go. Nice.
She wants cheese and milk.
You know, goat math is a little different than chicken math, right?
Yeah, I'm not ready to commit to a goat yet.
Yeah.
I feel that.
It's right here.
I'll share. I'm gonna share my screen again. Something a little easier to do on your homestead. We'll say.
Hash time. 3 minutes ago.
Just took some pictures of some flowers today.
Beautiful.
Pretty sure this is just a weed growing around my property, but it looked pretty.
It's not a weed. Then it's a lot of side of the roads too right now growing.
Yeah.
That's something I saw on our property yesterday too. How tall was that?
50 smells good.
This one, there's a couple of them like 4 feet ish.
50.
It's called chicoroi, but it's good for I don't know, like it's like a laxative or something. I think the root is or something like that. What else we got? Zinnia. I actually planted these. We planted just like a literal handful of zinnia seeds.
Nice.
A few different ones. Can you tell what that is? Who can pronounce this? I can't pronounce it.
Helianthus.
I would say baked is probably the closest with.
Yeah, I'm thinking too. It's a sunflower. Apparently, there's like 70 different, like whatever the step down is from like the genus Familia. I don't know that science stuff. There's like 70 different like versions of this, and then like
I'm
They're like
still
all
waiting.
sunflowers, though.
You know, I don't know how close they are to daisies, but what's cool is that the daisy and dandelion family are very close to each other, and the daisy and thistle family are very close to each other. And dude, that is just like there's so many plants that are out there that are those. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I feel like sunflower is in it like that macro
Ooh,
form
I
of
know this one.
type of-
That's called a red onion. That's how it's pronounced.
Not really a flower, but very proud of my onions this year. It's the first time
Yeah.
I feel like I've been successful with them. So we've got a nice like I don't know,
Nice.
this is
Nice.
one of many in the 50
That's
foot
a
row or
useful
so.
one to be successful with.
Did you plant onion
Right.
spikes or are those
You
from
put
seed?
in a lot of stuff.
All from seed. Everything is from seed. Literally everything.
GMO-free
So
seeds.
you let it bolt and go to seed and make your own seed.
No, actually, this year we took the advice of Red Becca and we went with rareseeds.com or what are they called? Baker's Creek seeds.
Yep.
Yeah. And like it's a lot of, I think we went like 80% all heirloom type, varieties.
Nice.
Just, yeah, not successful in everything, but we let a lot of stuff bolt after we harvested some lettuce. We let a lot of that bolt. All the broccoli's bolting now, which is coming up here soon, actually.
I'm also learning this thing about the heirlooms is that they grow great regionally where they're from.
Yeah.
And so like you can grow a bunch of heirlooms, but if you don't have that same type of soil, terroir, climate, microclimate, whatever it is, you get the pathetic version of what they show you at the Baker Creek catalog. A lot of the Baker Creek catalog stuff is so they grow a lot of stuff at their farm. They test a lot of seeds. They do a lot of germination testing. Obviously, there they have to, but they also source most of their seeds from all over the world. So a lot of like their photos are taken all over the world regionally. But they also do. I mean, they got pictures of their children in with the size of carrots or carrots the size of their children. So
It's like the cannabis pictures. The breeders are going to show the best pictures. They're not going to show the worst.
Right.
100%. So regionally, that is. But shit, what was I getting to with that? You were talking about the seed selection.
Heirlooms. You're saying the heirlooms not
80%.
growing.
Heirlooms.
Baker's Creek.
Shit, man.
You'll think of it. This is a random like weed that popped up that I just took a picture of because Mrs. Frigoli and I thought it was just beautiful. To be quite frank, it looks like a cactus or something, but Verbena hastata is what Google Lens told me, I guess. And that led me down the rabbit hole of finding out it's like very common in like swampy areas, like the edges of swamps and like wastewater runoff areas and stuff like that. And this is not far. It actually grew inside of a 10-gallon pot that I had like, I don't know, basil in or whatever it was last year. And it's not too far from like a pond kind of area. So I'm thinking maybe like a seed blew in or like a bird, brought it over and just let it go in the pot. And now we have this. So not very useful and not poisonous from what I could tell, but it was cool looking.
I like doing that too. I just let my pots.
I remember.
In them.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
Go ahead.
It was about onions specifically when you were talking about them letting them go to seed. Is their biannual? They have a reproductive cycle that's biannual. So if you left the bulbs some onions don't. Specifically, the bulb onions will come back the following year and then go to seed. I think at least that's what ours did, and that's what I'm assuming that's why they did, unless they just were dormant for a season.
Oh yeah,
carrots for sure are biannual. Onions might be biannual. So okay, never mind. Spartan, continue. Sorry.
We'll just talk. I don't know if you had anything more to add. If he does, hop in.
No, I was just saying I like to do that. I like to have a few. If I see a plant popping up before, I like pull it like it's a weed or something. I like to just let it grow and try to identify what it is, see if it's useful. Most plants are useful in some way.
Mm-hmm. And so here we have our broccoli that just kind of gets eaten so quickly every year. But the ones that did survive are now bolting, and we got some beautiful little flowers. These are, speaking of regional, though, these are Yield Fob broccoli, and that's a Chinese broccoli. So who knows if it's really supposed to grow in this region or not or whatever. But fun stuff. I think this next one is probably not going to be, oh, yeah, fun, public Safety alert. Watch out, Wayne County. Everything's flooded. Streams are overflowing. Don't contact the rivers or streams.
So I was out in the road cleaning our storm drain, wading around, probably ankle deep water, pulling champagne bottles out of the road. Be concerned. I didn't really wash my feet after that. I just kind of went back
I've
on.
been muted this whole time
I told Becca to go get her muck boots on, and she
for a
went.
while.
Well, I asked you, so you might want to, but I did not, and then our neighbor came walking over, who I've never met, is the newer neighbor, about 3 doors down, and with a slight language barrier, you know what I mean? Comes down and tells me his name, and he's just like, watch your feet, you're gonna step on glasses.
Is that what you did?
I'm just kind of like,
Is that literally what you did to this guy with the language
Just a little
barrier?
man.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, honey, this white guy down the street. Me. I don't know if he likes me or doesn't.
30 in the morning, my hair was like,
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go get my shoes. Shit was everywhere. I was like, I just kind of
Just got married. Brr.
came out.
All of our wedding stuff was in the street.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like our napkins. They said our names.
It was hot.
Not that I want you to share that publicly, but I might privately. Do you have a photo of all that?
No, I should have. I went right at it.
I was
went
like,
out there. I
oh
started.
no.
I grabbed the rake, hitting the drain. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the drain was blocked up.
Yeah.
From another source. So there was nothing I could really do. And by that point, I was like, time to take our time and just let the shit recede, I guess. And that was a mess.
Yeah.
It was just messy.
Hey, can you pull up Rosemary's Oasis on Instagram?
Yeah.
Rosemary's Oasis.
I'm on it.
Oh, already?
No. I'm
Oh.
just saying,
Yeah, he
I'm
always
on
has the
I'm
tab
on the
pulled up.
task. I always usually have Instagram up, and I've got a top of the line processor, so
Oh, yeah, running that AMD.
it better bring it up quick or I'm upgrading.
How many
There we
tabs
go.
do you have open right now? Be honest
One.
with
I'm
me.
not. I'm not. You shouldn't. You should be using the tabs. Tabs take a lot of RAM.
I know.
So you should never have shit tons of tabs open.
I have shit tons open.
Yeah,
That's why I
it's
have shit tons of
disgusting.
RAM.
I can't even look at your screen then.
I have like 64 gigs of RAM. It's okay.
Well, yeah, I guess but most people do that with like 8 gigs, 16
Yeah.
gigs. and
Oh,
it's
it's
like, well, there's your
video
problem.
rendering.
Yeah.
Story.
Those are wedding.
Story.
Look at
Oh, I love those ones.
they're
It's like a
called
lion's mane.
double sunken.
Double
Yeah.
sunken.
I love
What
that
the heck?
double.
I
Yeah,
hit pause.
that was on our table. We had one of those in our centerpiece.
I only
Oh, yeah.
cut one, so
Nice.
guys, we're the
The
lucky
lucky
table.
one.
Did anybody
Nice.
steal that? Someone had to have stolen that.
No,
Hope
we
someone did.
had it.
Like,
Oh,
Everyone
man.
else took the flowers.
that the one that's pressed?
Guys, except your table.
well, we pressed it.
We didn't know we were supposed to take them.
I know I saved it, so
I took the seeds. I'm waiting on a sunflower to pop up still.
super low.
I love that you planted something.
Hey,
No.
if I
He's
get a
gonna have a
little
6-inch
sunflower,
sunflower.
it's gonna be dope.
It would be
You know,
dope.
transport
baked
that
in
to
his
the-
And I
seeds.
got a bunch more seeds for next year, proper.
I already have on my other Instagram
All 7.
the world's smallest sunflower, which measured in at 11 inches and flowering. So you gotta be smaller than that. Might
Yeah.
have
So
9
these
inches in
ones
flowering.
today, I was looking, and the bees were like climbing inside the petals. Like I don't know where like going in. I was like, oh, they're having
There's-
fun.
Get the pollen. The pollen's in.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's seeds at the bottom of each petal or something. It's gonna be like each.
I bet it's just coated with pollen.
Yeah.
It's a big flower head with a whole bunch of petals, and then when you get down to like the inside of it, it's a whole bunch more flowers with petals. They're super cool. Like
You ever
Crazy.
see a duck on water like dive for the fish and stuff? It just dives right in. Gets its pollen.
So I did all the wedding flowers, right? And now that I cut all of those, a week later, the whole garden is blooming. So I went and these are all the ones I cut, but zinnias
That's
and
awesome.
dahlias, and I'm hanging them to dry. I'm gonna see how they do drying. Dry some flowers.
What can you do with them when they're dry?
Make
Those are
art,
beautiful.
just
Oh, okay.
fun stuff.
Have Yeti freeze dry them for you.
There's a purple tomato.
Yep, that's in my sauce.
It might be a Cherokee purple or a black beauty.
It's super purple though. I don't remember them getting so purple.
Yeah, it might be a.
I feel like
Can I ask you a question? And this might sound
No.
silly because it's a
It's
fruit
after 10 p.m.
and it hangs. Awesome. But any idea? And we all know tomatoes hang every which way. That being said, any idea if that purple side, you kind of see the top, if you will, is more purple than like a little bit around the edge is like almost red. Any idea if that top was like facing the sun?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
The top on all of them, regardless of which way it's facing, in the shadow.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's purple and the bottom's green. Like,
So it's uniform.
rather than it being a green tomato when it's produced, I don't know, sprouted, born, whatever you want to call it, is a baby tomato, and
It's growing.
it's a baby green tomato. This has a purple top and
Oh,
a
shit.
green bottom that eventually fades to the bottom blushes to red, and the top stays purple. It's super pretty.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
so this.
kind of green underneath the purple.
yeah,
Like
you can
that's
see it right there.
Oh yeah.
Right.
The stem.
It'll ripen further through. Yeah.
What's up
The next-
next? We got the sauce.
This is current. I
Is this our
took
current
that
sauciness?
10 minutes ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
10
10
minutes.
minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then that's it's a sunflower that grew 5 feet, 6 feet, and then split. And there's 2 heads.
Yeah, those are 2 heads coming off of one.
Oh, that's cool.
So how tall is that? Because this is a weird angle.
It's probably at least 10 feet tall.
Holy moly!
That's about 10 or
Yeah,
11 feet.
that's a big sunflower. Is that like edible sunflower seeds in there?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I like ranch
Cannabis
ones.
plant is about 8 feet tall in the front there.
I'm saving all those sunflower seeds either for us to plant or for the chickens.
Nice.
Right at the far right of that cannabis plant, that's about as tall as me.
Oh, okay.
It stops right there. And as it goes up, you're looking at about another couple feet. And then that's about a good 6-7 feet tall at the far left. And then there's another. That's about not even the middle of the plant. The middle of the plant's a little taller than that, probably about 8 feet. Big fucker. The leaves are just huge. Tons of bugs out there. There's a lot of little nipped pieces on the inside of the plant, but the outside leaves all are like great. They're like, that plant looks pristine on the outside. It's, you wouldn't even tell. You get on the inside and it's all chopped up and stuff. But we've been cleaning them up slowly. Every day we go out to do a little bit more pruning and a little bit more pruning. Takes
You can never stop. That was what it was for me when I had outdoor grows. It's like
Pringles.
starting one, by the time you get to the last one, the first
Fuck.
one's ready again.
we
I
really
forgot.
to like utilize a lot of that stuff. So like when we're, like this morning, like rather than like completely stripping our outdoor plants, I'll take them in sections. That way, like this morning, I can go grab a couple leaves and give a couple of DOG. I put a couple of my eggs, chop them up, put in my, whatever. We'll put them in our sauce. When we're doing bottoms, all right, we're going to save this bottom because we're going to make, sauce out of the bottoms of that plant. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Or like this time, we actually didn't do our bottoms. We waited until now. We probably could have done them a couple weeks ago, but we were waiting because we used them for our wedding bouquets and our table centerpieces. Where's the storyline of that stuff? Is that on mine? This
On yours?
Oh, yeah. Can
Shoot.
you go to Becca Meets Cannabis or Red?
Oh yeah, go to Becca
Yep.
Meets or that one. Either one. They have
Give
the
me a sec.
It's on my story.
the flower arrangements that we put together there. If you don't mind sharing those, it's kind of something that we want to eventually have available. That is Becca's bouquet at the top right. Her aunt put it together. That's DOG back there making the noises. So most of those flowers, some of those flowers are from our garden. Some of them are from her grandma's garden. Some of them are from, I think, some
Your
even on the
mom's?
side of the road in my mom's garden. Like,
Good one, Becca.
there was, I think that she bought a few flowers for some of the other arrangements. I'm not sure which
Like
ones.
the rose.
Maybe the
in
white
there.
rose in there might have been a purchased item. There's a couple other things. Maybe just the roses. To the left from there, that was my is it corsage or boutonniere? What does the men wear? Boutonniere?
Boutonniere.
Boutonniere? That's my boutonniere left
Yeah.
next to that. You can see the cannabis leaves there coming out of the boutonniere. And then down are the centerpieces. And those cannabis springs I plucked the morning and ran them over to the hall, and Becca's family did a great job putting those centerpieces together. And the one on the right of that is just another shot of a centerpiece. I believe all of those, like the Black-Eyed Susans, those dahlias, everything on the centerpiece. You can see the one on the left there has some snapdragon on the far left of it there. All of that is out of our garden here at the house. Most of the bouquets, centerpieces, or not centerpieces, most of the bouquets used throughout were all from our garden. It was super cool that we were able to do that. Becca worked her butt off making sure that we were going to have flowers for our wedding. It was actually kind of stressful, not going to lie. We didn't know what was going to flower, what wasn't. I think that's a big zinnia. There might be a dahlia on mine at the top. Top left, that's a dahlia. What's funny is that it was super sunny, so all the cannabis leaves pretty much like curled up almost instantly. Like they were fine in the house and in the cool. They actually had a little bulb of water, you know. If it was more of a stem, it probably would have held off better, but it was just a leaf with a petiole and water, you know. So they did fine in the house and in pictures and everything. As soon as we were outside, they all kind of started to wilt. Everybody's flowers, everybody had fucking pollen marks all over them. Everybody was full of pollen, dude, because there was just so much fresh flowers, dude. I was just giving everybody my flower was just whittled up to a pulp by the time we were done with our ceremony. I was giving it actually had fallen off. My brother had to repin it on and fix me up again because I knocked it off, giving my buddy a hug and pollinating him. It was pollen everywhere, pollinating everybody. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Little bees.
Yeah, like little bees. Yeah, thanks for sharing those.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun putting it all together. It was definitely worth all the work over the last year. I was actually going through the Red Setter Farm Instagram earlier today, looking at stuff from a year ago, looking at like the layout of the yard. I was like, holy shit, everything back here was grass a year ago. You know, just fence line.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning of last season, even less. I mean, shit, it was grass in the far back too. And, we were able to be resourceful about sourcing. Fortunately, we came across all those wood chips. You know what I mean? That was a huge haul this year. And I'd say if you need
Shout out to Chip Drop.
sign up on Chip Drop, dude. We actually need it for our new plot, so we're about to sign back up for Chip Drop in our
Also
area.
brought to you by Brondo.
Dude, Chip Drop, baby. Chip Drop from Brondo. They will locate your chips for you.
They will drop them.
Drop them.
Don't forget to turn it off or whatever.
Yeah, dude. You don't want to keep getting chipped.
I guess it's a toggle on switch.
20 arborists show up in the same day. I heard you got a chip drop.
Yeah.
Put it next to those other 10 piles.
Right next to that pile. In that pile. In that pile.
Baked, if you want to bring up my story, you can see my purple
Purple
Put me corn.
Work here.
purple what is the little
Is that what you call it nowadays?
silk,
Purple corn.
the silk on the corn. It's like a pinkish purple on one of them. The other one next to it, it's
There's a
white
butterfly
white
too.
yellow.
Very nice. All of our corn got
No, it's on my story.
taken down.
First, let's look at this butterfly.
And
Oh,
I still catch it for a few more seconds, and then it goes to a mushroom on a tree.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Solid.
This was the day I went to Red and Becca's wedding.
I think the top of that looks like a pheasant back. Is that a pheasant back mushroom? Is that what that's
I have
called?
no idea what it is.
You didn't lens this?
I didn't.
Oh,
I
jeez.
think pheasant backs smell like watermelon.
What do we got here?
Well, one of them, I've smelled them before. They do smell like one of them smells like watermelon. I think it's pheasant back. It's either pheasant back or turkey tail.
ODH?
Yeah, it's the ODH Vortex ones. I've got some of those I just transplanted into a sip container today.
Sweet. What's next?
Oh, that's Art, man. He's doing drawing on me, or a painting. I mean, he's doing painting.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. I think. Oh,
Yeah.
here it is. Check it out. So this I'm gonna go down, but I was showing the first. I noticed the two
Oh,
ladybugs getting it on. I was
That
like,
means there's food available.
but check out that. It's like a purpley pink.
nice.
Now we're age restricted.
Yeah. Great.
But yeah, I thought that was cool. I
Yeah, that
hadn't
is
seen that before.
interesting.
And the stalk right next to it is just the yellow one. So, but it's just that three color corn, the tricorn, 3-color corn.
Oh,
Oh, this is at the
interesting.
park today. I was looking and it's like if you look close, you can see it's a spider web.
Yep.
Like
Really nice
big.
one.
like grape leaves there, Spartan. You could ferment those and make yourself a nice grape leaf roll up with some rice.
I wouldn't go in anywhere near that big ass.
Oh yeah, that's
That was
great.
beautiful. It's like I'm gonna break that. That thing's probably took him a long time to make that thing. That looked nice.
You could also use those grape leaves in your pickles to keep them crunchy.
I really like number 50, Spartan.
Number 50.
Yeah, I just trimmed it and smoked it. I'm ripped.
Was that the big fat one, the GMO one, or was it the
No,
one
that
I
one's
was
still
saying?
drying. That one's still drying.
Alright,
No, this is just a random.
just a rando, huh?
Yeah,
Was
this,
it
we didn't
That
even
would have been
fill
on
up
the
a
left side.
jar.
Okay, maybe be on the right side then, the smaller one.
It was on the left side, but the front line. But I mean, it looks
To
alright.
keep everybody in, he's talking about the triple burger.
Ooh.
Oh, I see in the room. I don't know where 50 was. I couldn't even tell.
Can we get a ooh in chat?
I can't get that. But yeah, it's it's
There are a lot of
sticky.
you get a lot of those.
This would
funky,
make you
know.
sneeze. I bet if I shove this in your face, this would make you sneeze.
Don't be
So
shoving anything in my face, man.
yeah, jars of weed.
Oh, gee. Pull out the big.
But I also trimmed 26 and smoked it out. It's like bleh. I can
What
almost
about-
put it on the list of like no thanks.
What about the one that was the frosty one, but that was low yield? The one that was on the second table up front.
I gotta smoke more of that. I think
Okay.
I don't know if I smoked it or if I did, it wasn't very much.
What about the
I can
number
go,
one
Go
Pinot?
get that number right now. Number one's good. I got some. I like number one and number 11. It's like those
Yeah,
two.
I like
I
the
kind
look
of
of
want to
number
get
one.
tested. Yeah, and run them again. I want to get like 6 of them and run them again almost.
We
Maybe
do
just
it.
run them inside the house. So it's like
We can do
that's
that.
like the second phase of pheno hunting. Narrow it down, but because like it's like I can't wait to smoke that one that looks like GMO. That the last one I harvested.
Yeah.
I bet that's gonna get me high as hell. And then I want to rerun that, obviously, keep it way lower. But
Right.
yeah,
I just
That'd-
ran some Donny Burger recently.
nice.
Let's
It
go.
was mixed with. Hold on. I think it was Cap Junkie, actually.
Oh, all right.
So you didn't run Donny Burger? Oh, I ran Donny Burger. No, you ran across
Requested
Donny
the client.
Burger.
You ran
Well, it was Donny
Cap's
Burger mixed with it.
or Johnny Cap.
It was
No,
their
Johnny Junkie.
specific blend that they wanted. I do have Cap Junkie on its own. And then
Yeah, I got that in the
mixed,
stable.
Point Break with Cap Junkie, which is
Oh,
that Point Break came through
Cap's
great. It's
break.
nice and orange.
Nice.
And then the last one I called Grail Stopper. It's Max Stopper and Holy Grail.
Okay.
All
And
right.
I still have yet to really identify the terpenes on it, but it puts me on my ass so hard, guys.
Nice.
So hard.
Nice.
It's unlike anything I'm used to. But yeah, those are all some collabs or client runs or whatever you want to call them. Just getting some new strains, new flavors going. It's fun stuff. Shout out 321
Yeah.
Genetics.
Hey, shout out 321 next. I met
Yeah.
him up at the here in Jackson at the Armory Arts Village or whatever that was. Craft Affair.
Third
Eye
Eye
Craft
Muse
Affair.
Circus.
Man, couldn't get my
Something.
mind to work on that.
Likes that meat breath and that cab junkie.
There you go.
Yeah, he had a lot of cool flavors
Third Eye Craft Fair.
that I definitely liked.
The Lansing area at the Fledge on September 16th. That's a Saturday this time, not a Sunday like normal.
What?
Ooh, we've switched it up on you guys.
Oh,
We'll be back in Lansing September 16th.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
And also, October 8th, I'll be with the traveling circus at Vehicle City Social.
Oh, Flint.
Nice.
Yeah, I think they're going to be giving away cards. So if you guys are interested in getting your med cards, they're going to have doctors on hand.
Last time they did like 300 people.
Yeah. So once again, guys, if you need a card, come there. It's free of charge to get your med card. We need
cool.
many more patients to sign up. Again.
That one is 6 weeks away. The one Red was just talking about is actually 3 weeks away.
2 different ones. One's in Lansing, one's in
3 weeks from yesterday, anyway.
Different locations.
We'll be there.
We'll be at both.
Awesome.
I'll probably be at neither. Like I said, resend rooms, we'll decide Lime Skunk, push it down the road, all that kind of fun stuff. That's where we're at. But just got that gotta get them collabs going. That's why I'm waiting for Baked and Red to come knocking on my door.
If I would have fucked up the seal, back seal, you'd have more than enough. But I guess since that to rosin, and then there might be a decent amount for you. Still, I don't know. I gotta look through. Most of it got pretty well vacuum sealed.
Yeah, I'll take my hands on whatever I can get. Your shirt, explains it. What I'm looking for. It's fire in, fire out.
Fire in, fire out.
Yeah, what about outdoor? Do you like outdoor? Do you like put outdoor through the
Not particularly.
Through the old column?
Especially not other people's, unfortunately.
like
I
a microbial thing? I'd imagine.
Yes. It's more of a keeping the area as sanitary as possible. Like, I don't want dirty material. I don't want buggy material. That doesn't mean that means indoor or out. And we can, we just assume that our outdoor material is not going to keep the same level of sterilization, if you will. Not that it's sterile, but I think we all know what I'm talking about. And it's not that I haven't or don't or won't run outdoor. It's just I prefer not to. And when it comes to other people's material, I certainly have a choice to kind of deny that option. So I think I've just kind of stuck with that for the most part.
Nice.
Yeah.
DOG agrees.
Jeez, yeah, I like how responsive he is tonight.
And it's
we'll have to get him on the Rondo sponsorship and give him some bones.
I think if I had my own processing lab license with C1D1 and the staff and all that kind of stuff, I would love to run outdoor material. I'd love to run greenhouse material. I'd take indoor material, whatever, as long as it's high quality, fresh, frozen. I do think that outdoor and greenhouse and indoor, it can all be high quality, fresh, frozen. That's worthy of, what I'm doing, a live resin extract or whatever type of extract you prefer. But, for my very small caregiver type situation, I just prefer to try to not bring in any material that could affect anything on my end,
Yeah.
Reduce the risk.
We got Spartan Pukes taken off. I'm about to top them probably.
Nice.
I don't know, probably tomorrow. And then sex test them this week, hopefully.
Were they a
That's what I
couple
gotta
nodes
do.
now?
Say what?
Were they a few nodes now? Three, 4 nodes?
Like 5, 6.
Okay.
Yeah, but I moved them out from over where the shelf is with the smaller B spec and put them on a tray, spread them
Okay,
out,
cool.
and then I reset a bunch of crap so that it just got rid of a bunch of watering for me.
Nice. flower room's empty, right? So you gotta
Flower
worry
room's
about that.
empty. I pretty much cleaned it. I just gotta scrub the tables.
Let me know. I'll
That's
come out
it.
and help you. I can help you do
Yeah,
that.
that's what I figured I'd hit you up, but I like vacuumed and everything like that on the floor, so
I know we've
really
talked about
just
this.
scrubbing
You,
those.
you either can't or don't have a power washer or something, right?
Yeah, I don't
Is
have
that not
power.
an
I thought
option?
about this the other day. I don't have power washer until I get water out there. I don't have water in my yard even
That's right.
right now, especially.
I mean, how
We
long of
can
a
still
hose
go
do
in
you
there.
need?
We can still go in there and mix up a solution, like a bleach solution or something, in a sprayer, and just spray it.
Well, that's
Mm,
what we do at
mm,
work. We
Yeah.
we use the backpack sprayer from
Because
Petra and
yeah,
just use that.
I feel
It
confident
works.
after we set off those chlorine bombs or whatever.
Green
Yeah.
cleaners.
Yeah, the Procure or whatever they're called.
Yeah, Garden Clean.
Garden
Garden
Clean.
That's the ones I got the discount on.
Yeah, Garden Clean. So the Garden
So
Clean,
sweet.
that'll take care of anything we can't hit, like just with normal elbow grease.
What are you running?
Yeah.
Like a 1K in there?
A what?
You're a 1K? Is that what you for that? Those
No, what was it? What did we? It's because 1K. I haven't done the
the math.
flower room yet. Garden Clean. Because I think the 1K is a little too small. I can't remember. Or maybe it was too small for the whole building and that was it. But I think a 1K should do it. It's a 12 by 12 by 10-foot room.
It's not,
Actually,
yeah, it's not a big room.
yeah, I
So,
would think a 1K would do it.
yeah, the 1K. Yeah, that's the smallest one. Yeah, there's no way you need a 4,000 cubic foot for that.
No.
So yeah, 1K, it's like $40. And then I
Those
talked to the
things
guy and
smell
got
like
like
pool
20%
a
off.
pool room when that's what I reminds me
I
of. A pool room.
Yep.
so I
Exactly.
love that smell.
Like at a hotel, going
That
to the
and
pool.
after you clean like and mop with bleach water, that to me is like it's like all right, clean. Cause I can barely breathe, which means those little bugs aren't fucking living good if they're
No.
living. So organisms and stuff. But yeah, so we'll do that once we scrub, because that's the whole thing. The ideology behind that is scrub the oil slash film that these things can create to protect themselves, and then once you scrub that off, then you hit them with like the cleaner. So that's the plan, and we'll get the Spartan pukes in there. I don't know, another couple weeks. They're gonna take off. The veg is starting to stink, and I think it's because of them. It's gotta be because there's nothing else but triple burger clones. And
They're gonna stink too, probably a little bit.
yeah, that's the thing. But like, I think it's the fucking the Spartan pukes, but we'll find out. Cause in a little bit we'll start knocking out those triple burger clones.
Yep.
Like I can already feel like I'll knock out 26 here. I'll give
Yeah.
that another smoke, but it's already on the lower list because this one's 50's got me ripped. I'm really excited about 50 to tell you the truth now. I haven't smoked that till this evening just now.
What was the one that we had two branches of? It was like 12 or 21 or
That
something
was
like
12. That was
12.
12. I gotta smoke that one because that one looked pretty good. It was like sticky.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. And
Are
then
we gonna
got
we're gonna have to figure out a way to cover those lights then if we're gonna set that bomb off in there too, probably.
Yeah, they told me I didn't need to. That's HLG, but I'm way past
Okay.
the warranty years. But I don't know. It's like I got the plastic in there. We might as well at least tape a rudimentary, just around it, just tape
Yeah.
here and here. But that and obviously around the mini split, just let the fans and the DUs suck it in.
Yeah.
I cleaned the filters for the DUs. But those are those, metal filters. Yeah, so let's see what else.
Nice.
That's pretty much it. I got the light
What
turned
we
off, saving money.
what are we doing behind behind the behind those Spartan pukes?
the purple Urkel and the Donny Burger pack. So it'd be the purple Urkel S1s here. And
Nice.
then not this one.
How many are in that pack?
7. 7. Wait,
Alright.
yeah.
You gonna do them
Should
all?
be 7
Yeah.
films.
Awesome.
Yep. And then the purple D, which is Kim Dog D times purple Urkel, 7 films. So that's 14.
that's
And then we'll
14.
throw the Donny Burger pack, which is regs, cut it in half. Let's say it's 6 females. We'll run like 20.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Yeah.
throw a couple. We can even throw a couple triple burger phenos if we really like them and we want to run them again.
Exactly. Yeah. Like get
Like
some
that real
rods
frosty
in our
one up front.
BHO.
Like some of those ones that were in that under that
That
light that
didn't
was
get a
off.
fair chance. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
But like these are pretty old, so who's to say what happens? But I always hope for the best.
Did all those Spartan pukes? Every one of them are still
We
going.
got 100% germ, 100% everything. You can tell there's a bunch that like definitely want some more nutrients right now. So
I noticed with all of my crosses, especially the Donnie, that one, it's
Yeah.
real hungry all the time.
like right now, I'd say from this morning, probably like there's 3 I'd say that are specifically. I'm like, oh, you really want some more. The rest are that nice dark, healthy green. Those they're not like they're more the lighter though, and then the bottom leaves are dying where you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like,
yeah,
that's Storm Shadow of Thunder Dance. That's very demanding.
nutrient heavy, yeah. Like
Yeah.
AJ Sour D,
Yeah.
that one, it's just a nutrient hog, stuff like
No,
that.
it goes, 77, 80 days, it needs them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you gotta think about. I'm a big fan of like ramping if you're in salts, ramping nutrients, or like a curve, like up and then down.
You know what? I'm perpetual in my little garden at home for flower. We have like 3 cycles. I just feed everything the same from the time they go in to the time they go out. They all get the same feed except for plants up to the day 21 to 25. I'll give a little bit of nitrogen. But after that,
I did that with Jax.
And then, they all get because I got sick of mixing feeds for stages of plants, and they all seem to be responding well and doing great.
Yeah.
Nectar.
There you go.
Nice.
You just got me thinking about like rampant nutrients and stuff, and then feeding things at separate stages and whatnot.
Oh.
And I mean, I did that, for close to a decade. And in the last year and a half, it's been very, very simplified. Now that I'm just in essentially a water-only soil, I might top dress.
Yeah.
I might top dress, and I might use recharge or something like that. I tried some like organic brie like product, it's supposed to help with that or whatever. But in all honesty, comparing the last 18 months to the previous any time frame, do you guys notice a difference at all? Either good nor bad? Because this is like the most simplest form of growing I feel like I've ever done, other than transplanting.
What do you mean, a difference in what, your stuff?
Dude, I pull from the same reservoir for every single plant, whether it's a clone or a, week 8 flowering plant or whatever. It's reverse osmosis water.
From your salt to organic transition, have we noticed?
Yeah, because then I'd say it's been about 18 months. I think
I couldn't say that, but like, I mean, you're dealing with extraction, so it's like you'd have to have a really good, I feel like, tasteometer in your mouth to be able to tell the difference in like, oh yeah, this has a little bit more terps or something.
I would even, I would think more along the lines of like changing flavor profiles or anything like that. Like I'm not saying like an increase in like, percentage points of cannabinoids or something like that. I'm saying like, you know how sometimes
Like
you grow different strains with a certain nutrient line and they all taste the same, right? We've all heard stories about that.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think I've ever really dealt with that. I've tried a lot of different nutrient lines, but you know, I've grown the
honestly
same
believe
stuff.
people are probably just overfeeding their plants. You know, really, that's probably why they taste like shit.
Well, if you think about it hydroponically speaking, like if you keep generally all of the minerals that the plant needs available to the plant to be able to have them pull from it, and you're just replacing that media as fast as the plant's taking it up, it will never be wanting for anything, and it should do just fine.
True.
Yeah, it'll be
That-
interesting to see.
That's in a perfect world.
Yeah. I was just thinking about today. I want to get some more CO2 tanks.
Ideally, are you reusing your soil? Is that what you're saying? You're talking 18 months later and reusing your organic soil?
No,
No,
he's
I
talking about
I went from, you know, essentially cocoa for 7 years or something, and, you know, house and garden for the most part, or Canon nutrients for the better part of those 7 years, to, you know, the Michigan mediums with maybe top dressing with Michigan mediums worm castings, like maybe throwing recharge in there every once in a while, and just watering with reverse osmosis water. It's a water only soil, and I tried it outdoors like 2 seasons ago or whatever. Worked great. Figured I'd try it indoors, and I'm not reusing the soil indoors yet, but I am reusing it outdoors this season, as well as even in some of my vegetable areas. But yeah, I don't know. I don't
So
feel
say
like
like Red, in the last 18 months, have you, Rebecca, come home and been like, oh shit, this Cobra milk is way fucking the bomb.
I think it would have to be like lime skunk or
But yeah, I
clementines.
don't
You know
think
what I
it'd be
mean? Like,
Cobra milk. That's a bad example.
yeah,
I think it'd
it's
be a
but
different strain
like
that
way
you've
it's
been running.
or maybe it's like way better or even way worse. You know what I mean? Like
Or
I'm
worse,
saying, like,
yeah. But I don't think it's gotten worse. I just think it's stayed the same if I had to guess.
that's kind of
I
how
never
I feel too.
I never had a moment where I was like, okay. Or yeah, like,
And I guess all I'm
damn,
trying
what
to say is it
happened?
just seems it doesn't seem like at the cost of quality, you know, like there has been no cost of quality for essentially a large reduction in workload on the daily work, you know, like
Yeah.
the kind of week to week, day to day stuff.
Is it cheaper, do you think? Now that you run
Big time,
organics?
dude.
Big time,
You
yeah.
can get a bag of that stuff, you know, I don't know, 20, probably less than $25. And I think one bag is like a 10-gallon pot. So it's 25-gallon or $25 investment in the media. And I'm telling you, you know, I don't know, maybe you won't. If you're growing in a tent with not a crazy amount of light and you get that plant into flower before it like fills out the whole pot, I guess, like you probably wouldn't have to top dress or do too much to it. Like what I'm doing, you know, taking clones, like like a third round of clones on lime skunk, and they're in this 10-gallon pots, drinking 2 gallons of water every day. Obviously, they're kind of like stressed a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it could be legit like $30 per plant investment, and you're getting what, like maybe up to 9 of those if you really want in one tent or something, maybe 4 or something like that.
$30 per plant. Yeah,
obviously
that's
pots and stuff, but
investment. What we can.
I'm fucking around with Canna.
If we reuse the soil, that'd be one thing. That's a heavy load for a single run. For us, we're spending. What do we get out? We get 6
pennies, right? Tax.
Yeah, we did that.
The fertilizer. I'm just going to count the cocoa costs. Is we get 6 plants and 3-gallon pots off of one bag at 20. I don't know, paying like $22. Was 20 divided by 6, 3.3 or 3.2, something like that.
Yeah.
You're paying like less than $4 a plant. It'd be a heavy cost at 10 plants.
that's just for cocoa though, right?
Yeah, but I mean our Jax doesn't. I mean we've
Jax is cheap.
pennies a run.
Yeah, he said it was like 7 cents a plant.
Yeah.
$200 you could
Or
run your
something like
whole
that.
grow.
The one
Yeah.
share. So it's like it's negatable.
For $500,
Whatever.
I'm set for the next decade. I say
I
that.
ran Jazz for a minute. I did run like veg
I mean, it's not
and
even
flour was the same nutrient mix the whole time,
I like
which was
Jax.
definitely convenient.
Beautiful stuff.
I mean, it's
But now I got the Canna, but like I swapped out the CalMag and the PK with drips because it's the exact same shit, exact same active and everything.
Someone was selling me
percentages and
on that
everything.
recently. That
But it's like
brand.
half the price for the PK and stuff. So it's just like now I'm getting my Canna mix the same as Zach, but a little bit cheaper. But you know,
So
it's
maybe
the
it's not a, I guess in comparison to Jack's, it's not a cost savings measure, but in comparison to Canna House and Garden or like any, bottled nutrient method, it seems to be a major cost
And
savings.
you know,
Damn
you're
But
also
also the
and
just
your
the
labor
time and the
too.
labor. Yeah.
Right.
It's, and then if we're talking reusing it, it's probably, in the long run, it would be.
that's part of why I like it. I like having something to do every night. Get there in the lab, mix some shit. But
If you're reusing it, it's going to be a better cost savings over time. And you really don't need. I mean, I don't know. You might need to reamend with some minerals or something, but you really just need to give it biology and nitrogen. You don't need to give it a lot of stuff. There's
well, the Jax is on a what is it 3-2-1, so you can literally up the feed however you want. You just have to up it 3-2-1 or whatever. So like
yeah. I
you can
put
easily adjust Jax, which is nice.
ratio I keep my ratios proportioned. By like 10 gallon, 20 gallon, 30 gallon increments, and then I add it to my reservoir, and then I
Yeah.
add water to it, and I fill it up to a specific EC that I want to, run. So I don't know. I'll fill up 20. I'll do 20 gallons worth of fertilizer, but I might only fill my reservoir. I might fill my reservoir 30 gallons because I want a lower EC. You know what I mean? I might do 10 gallons worth of fertilizer and fill my reservoir.
10 gallons or 10 pounds?
10 gallons worth of fertilizer. 10
The
gallons.
nutrient mix.
He's
Yeah.
saying he's got a 10 mixed, and then he just dilutes it with plain water. That's how he.
Yeah. 10 gallons worth of nutrient mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was going to mix for
Feed
say,
water.
gallons.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I'll add my nutrient.
Yeah, you can dilute it or you can, yeah, exactly. So you can still adjust with
Just keep
programs
I'm
like
gonna
that.
say this, Red. You are by far the most skilled grower I know that uses Jax.
Thanks, man. I
You are dialed in, my friend.
to me it's pretty easy, but I mean I've been doing it for a really long time with Jax.
You grow some amazing flowers. Amazing.
Every plant is given the same red. We really don't change it up. We do the same thing every now and then. I might increase. Oh, maybe I'll increase the EC in veg late this round, or maybe I'll increase the EC early in flower this round, or maybe I'll decrease. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll play with the lighting,
Tinkering.
Little nuances.
I tinker here and there. Sometimes I get better results. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes the variables I don't even remember what I moved. I don't know. It's just tinkering. Yeah, I like that. As far as that, dude, I don't change it. I don't add anything else. I don't have any reason to add a performance booster. I feel like if I were to increase the EC, which I could do, I could increase the EC. I could pump my plants filled with more. I could add more CO2 to my rooms, and I could probably double my yield. I don't think that the terpene and cannabinoid profile would increase with the biomass of the plant. You know what I mean? I think that there's going to be a plateau of those kind of things, and then at some point you're just pumping up other metabolites that aren't necessarily cannabinoid and terpene, and those numbers might start to fall. I could be wrong, but at the same time, I save water, I save nutrients doing that. Like I said, I get so much out of a year's worth of fertilizer. I mean, it is what it is. It's because of, we use minimal amounts. We don't go, sorry, Jack's reps. We don't go based on their recommendations. I've been the type that's
I don't know a nutrient place that I'd have
half. All the recommendations back in the days of using like fucking whatever blue fucking stuff you could find on the shelf at your box store that wasn't Miracle Grow. You know what I mean? And start at half and work your way up. That was the recommendation.
Yeah.
Half the fertilizer. I've always been a half the fertilizer dude, so I've always done half.
It's like Canna's it's like right in the middle of flower. They want you at like 15 mils A and B, and I don't use. I think the max in flour uses 10, and the max I use that for veg, 15 mils A and B for veg, but yeah, it's like, why would I do that in the middle of flower? What kind of
Yeah,
cannabis are y'all growing over there in Dutch land? But
we don't want no
I
larvae.
just I just think their nutrients are clean, and I
Yeah,
like
like
I like
it's
how they work.
and the reason that I
But
say
I'm
that,
always changing things. That's the thing. I'm
the
always
reason why I say
trying
I
new
feel
shit.
like it's gonna create a bigger problem is because I've done it. You know what I mean? I've created these giant spears of foxtails of stressed out plants that are just overfed, and it's like, oh, you get more biomass, you might, but it's just a crappier product overall. I want to check all the boxes, including bag appeal, density of the flour, and somebody squeezed the nug, there's a lot of factors that somebody's looking at.
Dude,
I'm not selling
My
it.
eyes and my nose is what wins me over on the buds, right?
triple burger number 5. One of the last ones I took down. Took it like 78 or 79 days. I was taking the nugs off to put them into bags. Spongiest bullshit I've ever fucking met in my life. Cut it out of my brain completely.
Yeah,
Like that when you mentioned the feel of a nug, it was like even the top coat was like, what the fuck? So
it's like a mushroom.
yeah, yeah, it was gross. Yeah. So that one, it would look gross too, but the one next to it, number 17, I've had my eye on that girl since veg because she popped out roots within 24 hours of getting transplanted into the 3 gal from a
Damn.
1. Yeah, I was like, those are roots, and I spun the pot, and there's roots out another hole. I was like, golly, this girl. And then she ended up being like what I'm kind of calling GMO's daughter, like most like GMO. It's like with a little bit of a fade though. So that one's the last one I took. We'll see how that smokes. But, yeah, so we got
I,
4 minutes left.
oh, I'm excited to do. I really want to learn how to do organics inside, and I'm learning that like the biggest thing is just making sure your pots are big enough. We're growing in like little, maybe 8 to 10 gallon pots outside, and it's like the plants are getting yellow. And I know it's not necessarily have too much to do with deficiencies in the soil. I think it has way more to do with the roots just need to be bigger. They just need more space, and a lot of it is
Yeah.
so would increase the nutrition in the soil. There's plenty of sand and all kinds of shit in there to work. And I mean, it's over time that one pot should get better, but I feel like the plant is just, you don't want plants to get root bound in soil containers. You need a lot of room for all kinds of activity going on in there.
Yeah.
Microbes and small bugs and all kinds of stuff.
I gotta use like the beds. Like I want to do eventually just do like 4x4 beds or 4x8 beds, but somehow coat a pallet in like a real good seal and maybe put some casters on them so I
Just
can
put 'em
move
in a-
these beds where I want.
Put them in the trays we got now on the tables.
I don't think that metal would hold the 160 one 4x4 square, like the grassroots one. It was like, and I didn't even fill it to the brim, and it was still like, it was like 160 or 180 gallons of soil. So when
Jeez.
that shit's wet, it's heavy. I'm not sure that those fast fit trays can handle it. If they can, I gotta look on their weight capacity.
I
But
can't,
I
dude.
would,
I
I'd
get
be,
nervous standing on them
Ed,
myself. You know
bro,
what I mean?
I
Like,
get nervous with the amount of plants, triple burgers we had when I'd really water all of them, like, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, please don't come in here and just have it like, or something. But yeah, I eventually want to try that. Just have, I don't know, maybe we got these plastic pallets sometimes at work. They're black,
Yep.
real thick, and if I
Yep.
can somehow attach casters into them, like melt some into there, maybe that would be sick.
You
I
guys
bet Uline would work.
waste product.
Or yeah, like if Uline has a solution, because you'd only need to buy them once, and then you got rolling living beds, and you're just re-amending. You're never changing out the soil. It's gonna be no, I don't want to say a rough start, but it's like Red said at the beginning, it's not as good, and then it gets
That's
better.
exactly what I wanted to do. I've been wanting to do rolling living beds that like I
Yeah,
can from room to room.
we'll have to brainstorm.
So Medicropper did this, and he's got a video on it, but it's old. We had to do some digging. He just built it out of wood and big caster wheels in each corner, and he did 4 plants in each bed, but they were squares, so you can move them all around. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I was thinking to get it a little more size, you could do 3 feet wide to get it through a doorway, but like 6 feet long to add a little bit more volume in there. You know what I mean? And maybe get a couple more plants, or
Yeah.
let them. I think the key is the volume.
Well, here's the thing, Red, real quick. I know we're right there, but I did literally a 4x4 bed in a 4x4 tent right next to a 4x4 with a 100 gal radical bag, but the radical bag was considerably taller. Way harder to deal with the moisture, keeping the moisture even and stuff than the bed was. The bed was way evener because it's spread out a little bit more horizontally. So that's just something to think about. But it was also a radical bag where it's got holes in the side pretty big.
Coming out the sides also.
Yeah, so that's all.
And you want to think whatever you're using, and I mean you can even think about this with the radical bags, but like
I think I still have those.
if it breaks down over time, it's going to get into your soil, and eventually, maybe your plant might uptake some of those chemicals in it. So, if you're using womanized or treated wood, you might get, I think nowadays it's treated with, is it still treated with copper, or is it treated with, maybe it's not treated with copper anymore.
We'll have to Google it and figure it out tomorrow in the late sesh. Thanks, chat, for hanging out. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Yeah, I had to get it right.
It's not 11 a.m.
Treating.
Good night.